What the hell was that? Oh yeah. No. Yep. Okay. Cool. I broke it. Don't worry about it. It was 3 seconds in, and of course I broke it for a brief second there. You know, I was joking about having broken something. But hi everybody, welcome to the annual May the Fourth be with Star Trek. Because of course, my yearly meme on Star Wars Day of playing a Star Trek game will continue, at least for now, because I find it funny, and it hasn't been not funny yet. But of course, I'm joined by.
Also,
What?
I just looked up how determination works. Yeah, so you start with 1, and it's basically it adds a dice, and that dice is an auto success when you use it, and you get 1 per session. I don't know if you're.
Oh.
That's different than momentum, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I just remembered. You guys technically start at 0 momentum. You have to earn some, and I should give you rolls to do so. I start at 4 threat. Because then you get the option of giving me threat.
I thought we did start with some.
No, you might start with 2. I think it's you start with the number of players, and I start with twice the number of players. Yeah, there we go. Now I figured it out. Or remembered it. When you got like new socks and like everything that's fuzzy in the universe wants to stick to them because they still have like extra static. Anyway, just noting that here as another side thing. Hi again, everybody. I'm joined by Joe and Wyrm. They are our 2 players today. We've got an interesting little story that we're going to be telling in a one-shot, and I hope everybody will enjoy that. So I guess why don't I turn it over to you two to introduce your characters, and of course, since I just so happen to position Joe on top, you get to go first.
Sorry, I was trying to download the quick sheet. I am Joe. I'm going to be playing William Danzig. I am a human augment. I'm also the XO of the ship, second in command. And I focused in command and security with a little bit of engineering and very little bit of medicine dabbled in.
Yeah. And then, of course,
I'm Diamond Wyrm, and I'm playing Asanyo Glover, who's a Betazoid, Chief Tactical Officer.
So, like, I was trying to think of how to like compare you on a ship, and because you're like the first and second officers, you're like you're Joe's Data to his Riker. We'll say that there. Or if we're
that's fair. I mean, it's kind of the
position-wise. I would think like if we're comparing, it'd be kind of like how Spock was a science officer, kind of, or maybe Harry Kim was on sensors and was an officer on the bridge. You're kind of doing that job.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the position that I have is kind of like in some versions, the chief security officer is also the chief tactical officer, but it can also be separate.
I just separated them.
So it's kind of like what you see Worf doing a lot.
Yeah.
when he's on the bridge.
Yeah. There's mixtures of jobs though. But anyway. So today's adventure finds you aboard the USS Fafnir, a Miranda-class starship of 32 under Captain Marco Suave, a interesting man who is probably infamous for being more of a very Captain Kirk type ladies' man in his youth, but he's kind of reached an age where he's settled down a little bit more and enjoys his job. You were one of the Miranda-class starships that were acting as, of course, transport and all the various jobs during the Dominion War. Probably saw a little bit of action here and there, but we're far from a lot of the front lines during that time period. Now that things have settled down post that time period, certainly speaking, you're getting a mission from Starfleet Command. A individual who had been a former Maquis pre-Dominion War and had ended up on the New Zealand penal colony, had escaped during the Dominion War. Rava Beaumont. He was a former lieutenant commander, joined the Maquis, and so he's disappeared for a number of years, but there was rumors that he was doing various dealings in order to keep himself away with Orions and Ferengi, a lot of which are kind of more shady deals and keeping out of Starfleet's radar. but your ship has basically been given orders to head to an area of the Orion sector. You've managed to get some permission to basically enter the sector and acquire the fugitive. The Orion government isn't officially, like, helping you at all. They're just basically like, we won't stop you from coming in and getting this guy. That's kind of where you're at with this one here. So it's an area that's a little bit more lawless. You're heading to, of course, the planet of Cassim 4. And your last update on the information of where to find Rava was in a city known as Streittov. I'll put these names in chat here.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Cassim 4. Of course, behind my glass, so it's like blocking me from spilling this end. Streittov. You know, it's like when you're trying to type through something and make sure you're not making a mistake, and I'm like, I can't see through my own glass from where it's positioned.
That happens a lot with my mic because there's certain areas of my screen where the mic is just a little bit in the way.
In the primer is then Rava's name, officially, along with the rest of your.
Okay, so Streittov is the person we're looking for?
That is the city where he was reported at.
Oh, city.
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of the person we're looking for?
Rava Beaumont. Your ship was selected for a number of reasons. There are some of those that have a little bit of ties to the Maquis aboard your ship, and your chief engineer is an Orion herself. So she knows a little bit about the local culture, at very least. Though it is important to note that her family moved to Federation territory a couple generations ago. She was one of the early ones that basically got out during a little bit more of the in between Kirk's era and Next Gen. Basically, they migrated after some of the more peaceful things were determined with Orions and meeting some of the non-pirate versions of them. Basically left because wanted to explore science and learning and not get into the generational problems over there.
A piracy.
Yeah, they had a lot of that. They've theoretically gotten better. They've theoretically gotten better. If you ask any Orion that has any connections with there now, they're like, it's technically better. We don't pirate anymore. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure, there's no Orion pirates anymore. Sure.
Well, you're in the area that if you're going to run into some that they probably won't call themselves pirates. You might run into some folks that would be pirate-esque, You're in areas that are a little bit more lawless, basically a number of colonies on other worlds. The planet of Tasson 4 is a kind of port of call, I basically call it. Basically on the edge of a lot of region that tends to be not really patrolled by Orion authorities in any way, very often. So, not to say that officials don't arrive there occasionally, but it's a place that's a little lawless, a little weak, and basically a couple of cities across this planet. It's not majorly colonized. It's not a heavily colonized world. It's a place where in some of the nice areas they got a couple of cities and settlements and stuff, and people have kind of settled in. So it's a mildly colonized planet from your information. And of course Stratov is probably one of the larger cities, but it's probably also one that has a little less connected with the major port of call. That's the information base. So your ship has been en route, and you have just entered into the Orion territory and out of Federation space. So you're about a day's journey from your area. Certainly the captain has basically said to prepare anything that we need to. You have your mission. Is there anything any of you want to do to get ready for landing on the planet? I said pirate there almost.
How dangerous is this person we're after? What information do we have on him again?
The biggest information that you were given was that he had an acceptable track record. He was in probably like comm kind of things. So he was more pilot front of the ship kind of job when he was there. He rose to the rank of lieutenant commander. Got disenfranchised during everything that was going on that led to the rise of the Maquis, was with a number of Starfleet officers that joined with it, was arrested, sent to the penal colony. No one's 100% sure how he escaped from the penal colony. It did seem to be something during some of the various problems that happened, especially on Earth during the Dominion War, found some way to escape, managed to get off planet, and basically there has been no credible leads and any kind of investigations into recapturing him. So, yeah. He had not finished serving his sentence, is what is the best way to say it. It is known that he probably was one of the less violent members of the Maquis. Not that he didn't attack Cardassian ships and do a lot of things like that, but it does seem like his track record doesn't go as to some of the more extremists in that group. At very least, you know. So, and most of the stuff that you have on reports that he's been engaged in since that has escaped seems to be more basically dealing with materials and basically entering into like black markets and stuff, probably to support his, fundings to keep his, escape going. As I said, dealing with various groups within the Orions and the Frankie and a couple other very shady individuals throughout the quadrant. I think Orion's in Beta Quadrant? Or is that Alpha? Ooh. Not sure. Beta Quadrant. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Couldn't remember myself. I'm like, I don't remember where all the... Everything is off the top of my head. I'm not as up on that as I used to be. I mean, I can't think of any specialized equipment we need.
Let's see. Yeah, let me...
The only thing I could think of, and this is kind of iffy, I'm not sure, would be... I know the Federation technically doesn't use currency, but they might have like stockpiles of currency for if we have to do dealings with races that do. If they have anything like that aboard for us to take with us, if we do need to wet some palms.
I do believe you could probably arrange to have some kind of materials on board for trade and stuff like that, or bribes. That is not an impossibility to have. Kind of sucks.
Because that's the one thing they do. They leave it vague. Because like we know, like Riker used to go gambling at Quarks. Well, you need money to do that.
Well, it's kind of like, I think for Deep Space Nine, they kind of imply that there's like a stipend that most of the officers have for dealing with the locals there too, that you're kind of given. So I'm going to assume it's, they have materials available for such a case, so they probably could easily give you something.
It might be good to get a pattern enhancer just in case we need to get the guy and get out from somewhere.
Not a terrible idea.
How does rolling for equipment cost? How does that work?
I think it's momentum you have to spend.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's worth it then?
I mean, he could have a jammer or something, so that might be useful. The question is, how much momentum do we need to spend to get the two things that we want?
Yeah.
I know there's a section somewhere for
Okay, so it's opportunity cost 1, and that means it takes 1 momentum to get.
Okay. Would you say each one of those is a 1 then?
I think I would assume that you would just have a set of things for setting up pattern enhancers. I would assume is what it would really be. The next gen weird sticks, they always set up in a thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Would it cost us 1 for that and then 1 for trade materials?
Yes, I would say yes. That would make sense. That if you did both of those,
So that would take us down to 0.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, I can add the pattern enhancers to me since I have some engineering.
Okay. It's also kind of one of those things that just work. They don't actually affect a roll. It's just, well, they affect a roll, but they don't do so.
Just so one of us has it written down, and it makes sense that the engineer might have that.
Oops. That maximized things. Sorry. I was trying to find a very good map that would point out where the goddamn Orion territory is, and they don't have one anywhere. So thank you. Anyway. The Rhine sector just doesn't have a good map of where the hell it is.
Because they don't go into it that much in any of the series.
Yeah, they don't. So, look, I tried to get a good good idea exactly where it is. I tried. Anyway. Oh, okay. Interesting. Anyway. Interesting to know that the Orions are within Federation space. So they're technically in Federation-controlled territory. That's weird.
It could, but see, sometimes you can be surrounded by it, but it's not like you're technically...
Ooh, yeah, true. That makes sense then.
Also, you got to remember, we're looking at 2D maps in a 3D environment.
Yes.
So they could be above or below.
Yeah.
A section of space that,
Anyway, so, yeah.
This is the best thing I found for the exact Orion sector.
I will have to check that later, because I can't check it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yes. It's not going to be long. Again, the sector itself probably isn't technically that large overall, but again, outside the core of the main Orion systems, it tends to be a lot of areas that are a mixed bag. It's also kind of like a general thing of you're in an area that it's not impossible for Federation starships to come to, or Starfleet vessels to come to. It just tends to be a little bit more left under the purview of the Orions, So that's kind of where you're at.
Well, they're not part of Starfleet, so...
Yeah. And this technically would be a colony under their control, technically, even though it's not very governed under their control. It's kind of like an old city-state, where you're like, I have this city-state that's technically part of me, but I also leave them alone most of the time, So it's a colony. Anyway. Alright, so you will eventually arrive at Tesson 4. There is a number of ships in the region of various make. You can easily detect them. A Federation starship showing up in this area, probably there's something on the local sensors, it is a little unusual. But as I said, isn't it a 100% impossibility either? But it would be probably more assumed that it would be like a Starfleet ship that would be showing up rather than a Federation ship, maybe Starfleet ship that's doing some kind of trade here too. Because as much as there's probably illegitimate business, there's probably illegitimate business here too.
Yeah.
So, most of the ships are just going about their business at this point in time. It is, as I said, a kind of port in this region. So there's probably like a Ferengi vessel coming through here, a number of Orion vessels, and actually a Starfleet vessel that seems to be some kind of trade ship that is leaving the sector or the area as you come into the planet. But everything seems relatively peaceful at the moment. Your commander will kind of turn towards you and be like, I need a group for an away mission down the planet. Willie, I'll let you lead it. Take who you want. Try to find out any information in the city. We'll contact the officials while you get everything together you need and choose your team, and we'll beam you down where it is appropriate. Who you taking with you?
Wyrm,
I mean, other than Wyrm.
Yeah. What's your character's name again?
Sanyo.
Asanyo. I'm sorry. I looked back at your sheet that you had posted in chat, and it just says Wyrm's character, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, because I hadn't thought of a name at that point.
yeah. So I'm just like, Sanyo, I think you'd be useful for this.
So, to give you a chance to do some things here, why don't one of you give me a check here? I want you to do a command, we'll say presence. One of you can do a negotiations with a bit of local authorities to maybe get a better idea of where to go. It'll be difficulty 0, so just to get us some started, see if we can earn some momentum here and get things started with some checks here, because you want to do that.
That's a 16 for me.
It's a 15, but I also have a focus in persuasion.
That would apply here if you want to do Joe's with the focus. A little worse. If you want, you could assist then. Or one could assist the other.
Yeah, that's where I roll 1 dice, right?
Yeah.
Focus, yes. I'm sorry, it's just been a while since I've done this, so I'm trying to remember.
That means you get a plus. That means you get an extra die because I rolled, right?
Right. Task rolls is supposed to be set to 2, right?
Yes. Oh no, you don't get an extra die. You roll with 1 die and try to get an extra success. You both make checks. So one of you has 2 dice and the other have 1 die. I don't see Wyrm's die roll.
I see it.
No.
He got a 1.
Oh, it's a 1. I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize because it's just
big.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay, 3 successes. So you could go up to 3 momentum and build a little bit here. You'll be able to find out that there is a local place where a lot of Federation individuals go to, or Starfleet individuals. You can find maybe some humans there and such like that. And it seems to be the officials, while they don't have an exact location of Rava, certainly speaking, there is this area that a lot of the Starfleet trade people and anybody from originally from the Federation, comes into. I'm sorry, Federation people. I keep getting the 2 of them mixed up in my brain here, and they are technically separate. Federation people, Starfleet people. Anyway, Federation people come into, especially a lot of some of the humans and stuff like that, and it is a kind of club/bar area. I will say it's translated as like it's got like a name like the Dirty Top or something, but it translate that into whatever hell it means in Orion. It's basically sleazy nightclub name. Insert here. We'll call it the Dirty Top for now. Because I don't want to try to translate stuff.
One thing I didn't think of before we said we beam down, do we want to go down in civilian clothes?
Might be good in case he's got some informants.
Or if he just sees us and takes off because he knows Starfleet's after him.
Like
That's
your
what I
ship
mean.
your ship
Yes.
in the atmosphere is one thing. Again, it's not like unheard of to be there, and certainly speaking, he might not run necessarily easily from you while you're in orbit.
Yeah, I mean, even if he finds out a ship has arrived, there's the whole thing about getting off the planet and doing other things. But the big thing is more when you see someone in Starfleet, you can turn and run or sneak away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to spend a momentum, you can have appropriately disguises that would make you look like just civilians, or maybe
We'll be
Federation
down
traders.
to-
The other thing is you can take one NPC with you. They will basically act as if you want to do certain roles or something like that. You can have them with you. If you want to get any other of the list of NPCs that I have out, so there's the 4 of them that I put down there, you would have to spend an extra momentum. So you get one that you can take with you for a team of 3, or if you want a team of 4 or 5, you can spend all your momentum. It's up to you. But that would probably be the maximum you could take right now.
Where was the list of
It's in Year 8 Primer.
Year 8 primer?
You have the
And
buffest
handouts
Ferengi
come
you've ever seen, who's
Got
your
it.
chief of security. There's a reason he left Branganar. He's basically warrior Ferengi. Wasn't going to get what he wanted to do there, In the Federation, he gets to learn a lot of combat abilities. Anyway, you have your doctor.
The doctor
Teller.
might be worth
Mhm.
it.
The chief engineer. She might know some things around the area. She is Orion.
Yeah, I was thinking the engineer
Oh, yeah.
because
Being Orion.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to think of like things that we were severely weak in.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Well, they're good security, so you probably don't
But-
need your buff Ferengi.
Yeah.
Right now, at least.
Yeah. I mean, the engineer being Orion might be a good idea then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have an okay engineering, but not super special. I just knew we both had 2s in medicine.
Mhm.
But the Orion makes sense because they might know more things that help us navigate some dealings.
Some local culture.
Yeah. Is it Hishkanas?
Yeah, Hishkanas.
I'm actually thinking doctor again because he might be able to help us sedate the guy if we
True. That was my other thought too, but then it's a toss-up.
You could spend the momentum and grab both of them.
Go back down to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
think it
let you
might
make
be
that
worth-
decision.
I think it might be worth it.
Okay.
So Tug and Hishkana will be joining you. Tug Bim. I think that's with Tellarites. It's hard to tell when their first name and last name separate. So I'm just going to assume it's Tug Bim. Anyway, so they'll join you. They'll get some civilian clothes, and you'll probably look like you are. I gotta be honest. Like with a Tellarite and an Orion, you look now more like a smuggling crew rather than just traders. Which might be good, might not be.
Yeah.
You'll beam down to the planet and easily be able to head over to the Dirty Top, which seems to be like it's got a basically what you assume might be lewd images, but it's kind of hard to tell with like a kind of like a weird like kind of like display sign, except it's like basically I'm gonna say definitely something that you would recognize outside of like either of your cultures in a lot of ways, seems to be something that like does stand out. Also, it does not seem to be a like humanoid female. It seems to be some kind of bug creature. It's hard to tell. It's still relatively humanoid, but insectile.
Interesting. Could be a number of creatures
Isanyo
like that.
grimaces at the number of surface slots. at the types of surface slots.
Uh-huh. There is the possibility that someone is coming here for the bar or the club, or maybe something else is here. You don't know.
Maybe a companion.
There might be companionship that would be offered here. There might not be. Depends on it. The place is an interesting location. The club itself, the entire area, is 4 floors. They're kind of spread out in this interesting way with this kind of, rather than a straight shaft in the middle, it kind of like goes diagonal. So you can kind of see a little bit above the 2 floors above you and can kind of notice there's floors higher up. But because of that nature, the main like hole, like, normally you'd have like a hole in the nightclub, a lot of floors. It kind of like goes over in this kind of like arrow shape. So it kind of goes over to like the entrance floor and then kind of down on the bottom floor. So you kind of come in on this entrance floor where it's kind of got the main bar area. It looks like if you head down, it's like more club kind of areas too. So kind of like on this original area where you enter into, you see there's a number of like tables and stuff. And there's a little bit of privacy in a lot of these places. But certainly speaking, it's a lot of like drinking and eating and kind of hanging out there too. And you can kind of hear some music coming from the lower floors. And up above, it seems to be kind of like looking to go to more areas where it's a little bit more private meetings and kind of stuff like that. There is a insectile species kind of behind the bar, seemingly as the bartender. Seemingly a lot similar to the one outside.
That's why there was an insectoid on the side.
Yeah.
No.
It'll
Try to grab a drink and see if we
yeah.
can pry
If you
some
you can
information.
saunter up to the bar, kind of, and with some hisses and clicks, and certainly your universal translator is working, but there's definitely like, it's almost as if, because it's like the creature itself does have a, very much so untraditional language, it's you can tell there's like some like kind of hisses and clicks even as it translates for you, like it's like, what'll it be?
Do you have any synthahol?
Sure. I have lots of selections. He'll pour you like some kind of like.
Yeah, I'll ask for whatever's.
Yeah. He'll get you something there.
Good.
Mhm.
So
I'll have a Orion Delic.
I'm curious. Unless this guy's psychic resistant, I'm kind of curious. What's he thinking about?
He's not psychic resistant, but also like it's kind of a little weird. It's like, I'd say basically it's kind of like there is like a weird translation filter on the entire kind of brain to a degree, So you are picking up some basics about what he's thinking about, but it is kind of a little jumbled. If you want to dive deeper and try to read it, I would actually need a check from you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pry. I'm just, just glancing.
Kind of get a surface glance. Yeah, you get the sense that he's like kind of like there's a curiosity about him, about your presence here. You're new people, of course, so there's probably a curiosity, certainly speaking. That's kind of the basics of what you're picking up, but the fine details is kind of hard to read because it definitely feels like, again, with his insectile nature, there's a little bit of an alien nature to him, even more so than your average creature that you encounter. Most brains you can kind of pick up on a little bit. It's not a complete blockage, but it is like a little bit more harder to read.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been in Starfleet long enough to know that it's rude to pry.
Mm-hmm.
When he hands me my drink, I'm gonna say, we're actually looking for an old friend of mine from out from the DMZ. Could you? I heard he might have passed through these parts recently.
Occasionally, Betties like yourself come in here, do business, see them here and there. Can't say I haven't been here.
Is there someone who's more aware of the people who come and go? So we might be able to talk to.
Not sure. Plenty watch, do business, but most just come and go as they need. Just be careful
I'm
if
gonna
you're newcomers. Do your business and don't get in trouble.
I'm gonna slide whatever the price for the drink is and a little bit extra
Mm-hmm.
his way. It would be really grateful. We'd be really grateful if you might be able to point us in a direction to someone who might know if he's been through here. I'm just looking to meet up with an old friend, have a possible business opportunity for him.
He'll basically do like what you assume is equivalent to scratching his chin, where like he's got like 4 arms, so he's getting very sectile. So he's got like the 6 limbs, and his like bottom 2 have been working on drinks. You'll see the upper 2 almost like kind of like do that thing where like you get them up towards your mouth and kind of like almost clean something a little bit, as it's almost like he's trying to think for a second. There, upstairs, Rosa might know something.
Thank you.
You put that name in chat here.
I think
That's a
we'd be best to go upstairs and
Mhm.
ask.
Yeah, okay. You can head
Gentlemen,
upstairs. And the next area up, as I said, it's a little bit more private areas. Still not completely closed off. Most of these are kind of little side rooms where things are a little bit separated out. And you can see various things there. Stuff like it looks as though probably areas where various escorts might be kind of meeting with people just for like, less, I go back to a room companionship, more I hang out with you companionship, in a bar kind of thing, there too.
Yeah.
You can also see that there's a number of these rooms where it looks like certain games have been set up, kind of games of chance, certain things like you could see some people playing, a game of what looks to be poker. Actually, another one with you can see a number of humans are in there in kind of dealing with a number of others there too. You can see another area where a Dabo table has been set up and a group of Ferengi seem to be hanging out and playing that there. But eventually you will kind of, with a little bit of asking around, it won't be very difficult for like, people serving drinks and stuff on this floor to kind of point you over towards Ralsum. There's this entire room where you can see a group of men. Half of them are Orion. Half of them seem to be of various Beta Quadrant species. It includes a particularly like large-looking Klingon is in their group there too. Who's those all seem to be doing a card game of some kind. You can also see there is a Andorian woman and a what looks to be a Romulan woman who are kind of off to the side, kind of chatting. And of course, this man in kind of the back, who you're pointed out as Rosum, as this kind of tough-looking Orion man, who kind of seems to be in charge of this little group here. He's not participating in the card game. He's kind of watching his men kind of do it. Him and the 2 women are currently not participating in it. You'll definitely notice that when like he's pointed out, he'll like raise an eyebrow, and kind of like look towards you.
Okay. What are his thoughts when he looks towards us?
Who are these folks?
I'll walk up. Hi, I'm a son.
Hi, Bassanio. Why are you interrupting my friends and my card game?
Because we heard you might know where you might know the ins and outs of who comes and goes.
At least your information's
Anything
correct.
to know? We need to know one of those people.
And in and out of someone coming and going.
Yes.
He's gonna kind of like look over you for like a minute. It's that kind of like as he kind of like looks over you and thinks for a minute. Kind of like looking over your entire group. Depending on what it is and what you ask, there's always a price to pay.
Understood. There's always a price. Have you heard the name Pravabama?
Maybe. Who would be looking for that name?
He's an old friend of mine back from the DMZ days. Looking to see how he is, and also might have a opportunity for him.
I can see that maybe you're an old friend, maybe you're not. Maybe you want to slip a knife into his back. I don't really care about that much. But yeah, that name's come up here too. I would rather not, folks from that region coming back in this area. Things are calm now. Things are nice now. Things are nice in the city. I don't need any problems.
Well, you're more likely to have problems with him staying than coming with us.
Take it there's probably a bounty on his head. Yeah? Coming to collect for the Teddies, Starfleet. Reputable business. As he kind of looks over at Hiskanos with the words reputable business. See that interesting clue for
Something
such
like that.
things.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for you, there's plenty that are looking out for that one's head. Outside where, you folks usually come from. Turns out he's been pissing off a number in this sector.
Not unsurprising.
Well, unfortunately he's not here on the planet. But I might be aware of possibly where he ran off to last. You might be able to pick up his trail with that information. Whether he'd be there still or not, well... You see, though he has not done any problems with me, you coming here and asking things is a lot different than a lot of those people. All those people out there, they're hunting, they're not asking. This is telling me that someone's coming in or something new has happened. And, I hear about things in this area. So if Starfleet's gotten off its ass and actually offers a proper reward, proper bounty on that scum, I don't want any trouble. Normally they send in their starships to cause trouble. I do hear one's happened to float into orbit pretty recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe it's a race. Well. He'll kind of
So what do you look?
with some fingers, and the Romulan woman will bring over a pad, click in some numbers, and hand it off to him. Thank you. It'll be this much. So it'll pretty much be all the money you brought with you as a bribe, effectively, for him. You will have very little left. So if you wish to bribe him, you will basically spend it all.
This seems I'm thinking 70%. I'll try and. I'm gonna try and negotiate with him.
Okay.
I have a negotiation focus.
Oh. Then I guess if you want to lead it, and I guess Joe, you want to assist. You roll 1 die. Negotiation focus would work. We'll say it's a command daring to negotiate with this guy.
Okay.
Feels like a daring thing. All right. Oh, sorry. I was going to put it at 2 difficulty. Sorry. So that was appropriate. And you could have had a chance to use momentum or give me threat. I have to remember to declare these things because you are currently at 1 momentum.
1 momentum, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll get an extra momentum. But he'll say, look, certainly speaking, this area, things have been peaceful. We, most of my people have gone, as you would say, legitimate to a degree. We aren't doing any kind of problems or getting on the Federation radar, and I like staying off of that, the Starfleet Federation radar. So I will help you out. Get this man out of here. Get rid of any other problems that are going on. You are the first looking for this guy. Might not mean I might be the last. I would like him gone. So yeah, you'll get your 70%.
I mean, that was just me starting the negotiation, but
Yeah, he'll
okay.
he'll give you effectively a discount, so you have an amount left.
I know it's not like important. I just felt like my character would do that.
Yeah, no, that it's reasonable too. And in case you need some extra funding from various places around here, you still have some without spending extra momentum to get more.
Yeah.
So, all right, you will be given some information about the location of your target. It turns out that he has traveled a little ways away, basically a day away at warp 3, so a little bit of distance away, at a little higher warp. You probably get there a little sooner, pretty quickly, so it's not too far away. But it's a place that people would not necessarily look anyway. It is a star system where there is pretty much no one there. Because most of the people that live there are miners on a number of asteroids that are being mined in the area. Basically, a number of Orion asteroid miners are in the area. But there is a Class N planet named Satis. So I'll put that name in chat. So if you're unfamiliar to classes, a Class N planet it's got a really nice atmosphere. The surface sucks.
Yeah, I that's good to know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask because I
It's-
know the classifications. I just don't remember them all.
Traditionally, there could be places that built it there, but it's kind of like there's like an easy example would be like if the surface is heavily volcanic, but the atmosphere would still be doable, or maybe there's like things of like
or radiated
or like possibly the water there is instead of like just normal water, it's just like pools of acid are on the surface that they have in place of water, things like that make it just not a great place for humanoid life, general humanoid life for most of the Alpha Quadrant. So again, the atmosphere is okay. So if you like set up something properly, traditionally like upper atmosphere kind of habitats can exist in these places. Sometimes various places on the surface. They traditionally tend to be areas that you need specialized equipment to survive in, not because of the atmosphere, but because of everything else around the atmosphere. So it's that unique thing. Is most places that you need specialized equipment, it's for atmospheric problems. This one's for yes, the surface sucks. But yes.
Yep.
Turns out he's found some way hiding out in good old Status. No one really lives there. Maybe he's got a base of operations there. That's the last I heard. So, you're looking for him. That might be the place you're gonna go. Luck to you. Now, I do warn you, if someone else comes a looking, I'm probably gonna charge them the exact same as you. And I hope it seems like this reward is worth it. And keep an eye out for those Starfleet folks in orbit. Good luck.
Appreciate the warning.
and then we beam up out in front of him. No,
No, we find an alleyway.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you can, of course, head back to your ship, the Fafnir, after kind of moving out of the area and leaving the bar. As you get back to the ship, of course, the captain will call for you to head to the bridge, and will want a debriefing meeting in the, we'll say like the conference room. He'll bring you all to the conference room for a debrief, you know.
Yeah.
Since it was, 4 of his officers went down there and what information they could get. All right. What did you find out?
Apparently, he left the planet.
At least he's been here.
Yes. He left. What was it? A day ago?
It's a day away, so you don't know exactly when he left.
Okay, we're not sure when he left, but he left on a ship traveling warp 3 to a planet called Sadis. It's a Class N world.
Also,
I'm
learned
not
some
sure
very
if
interesting.
there's some miners there or what, but it doesn't surprise me that someone whose former Maquis would hide out in a dangerous area.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll depart. Warp 5. Make us there. We'll get there definitely a lot earlier. Find out any information kind of about the planet if there's anything in our records. All right. Captain will turn to try to issue some orders. All of a sudden, something will go wrong with the ship. The power will start blinking all of a sudden as something seems to impact your ship while it's here in orbit.
Scramble the bridge.
Yeah.
Face of action.
Well, power's like flickering on and off, and things don't seem to be kind of working very well. You can run back to the bridge.
Assumed that.
Yeah.
Go, because I just kind of assumed we were like in our quarters changing back into our uniforms or something,
This is probably actually before you did that. It's probably like after he just broke from the meeting. You were gonna go back to your rooms to go change back into your uniforms. Everything starts kind of blinking with the lights. There's a shaking of the ship or something as the dampers briefly like kind of go off, so you can kind of feel like a shake as something has disrupted the systems in the ship. Power's still kind of blinking on and off. The lights are kind of going on and off. Like the consoles are kind of blinking a little bit here.
I'll look at Hishkanis and go, Chief, get down to engineering, give us a full report of what's going on.
Check the warp core and make sure all the engines are working. He'll run down to, of course, engineering. So, I guess if someone wants to roll... I have to remember what check you would roll. It's probably an engineering, because you can use the ship to assist, or someone else could assist you. I'd say it's an engineering reason check if someone wants to check out what's going on. You could use the ship.
10 with that.
I have an 11 with that actually, because my reason is very high.
My reason's only 7.
I also have a focus in crisis management.
That could apply here. There's a crisis.
And that gives me an extra die. I don't know how I already forgot this.
You click on focus. Yes.
Oh, okay. Focus, yes. Okay. Complication range?
Standard complication range for this one, I will say.
Okay. And are you gonna assist me?
I can assist you, but I'm probably better than what the ship's assist would be, I would think, or...
Ship would be engineering sensors. They have an 11.
Oh, ship would actually be slightly better.
Okay.
All right. So that's their complication range. That roll. Hey, ship helps. All right. You will gain 1 momentum. Again, I was going to put it at 2. I forget to say these things. I have to remember to say them. It's been a while since we've done this. I keep forgetting. So we'll gain a momentum. It seems as though something
we
has
only
hit
do it
the
once
outer
a year.
hull, and it's disrupting the energy systems of your ship. Your sensors aren't completely cut. Things aren't completely cut or not working, but does seem to be kind of embedded into your ship. As you're kind of doing that there, you will receive a hail.
On screen.
It's voice only.
Okay. Audio.
Sorry about that, Fiddies. But seems like you're after the same thing as I am. Hope you enjoy your time here. Good luck.
Can you tell where the transmission's coming from?
Sure. I'll say at very least with the basic sensor suites without a check, you can read that there is a small vessel nearby. You assume it is the one that has hit your ship as you're running the diagnostic on it.
I think it's worth doing a sensor sweep on them, see if we can at least get some information on, like,
Okay, if you
what
want to
kind of ship
run
it
a
is.
sensor sweep, it will be a... we'll put that as probably maybe science sensors. Maybe that's science sensor sweep of a vessel. Yeah, sure. Or science. Science insight. Sure. I'm trying different dice rolls. And science sensors for your vessel, which is 2 dice if you want to use your ship. But I will say, currently, your complication range is 2, and the difficulty will be 3.
I got a 10 for science insight.
I just put your
15
ship
for
at
me.
11 for everything, so your ship can do +1 maybe.
Cool. Okay.
Difficulty 3.
You're definitely the
complication
roll
2.
on this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have any good focuses?
Not for this.
Ship does not help this time.
I don't think I can make this then. You said complication range 2?
Complication range 2, difficulty 3. You do have momentum you can
I'm
spend.
gonna have to spend momentum to even have a chance, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think you have
1 for an extra die.
you have 1 for an extra,
We had 2.
so you could spend 1.
Yeah, I
to
know.
the third
One, and this will give me a chance, because otherwise it's impossible to get 3
Yeah.
with just 2
Yeah.
die.
Mhm. Ooh,
Oh, I forgot about crits, though.
Yeah.
yeah. Unless you will roll very well, which is great.
We'll
Alright.
get our momentum back.
The vessel seems to be some kind of custom craft. The vessel itself doesn't seem to have many weapons or anything like that. Mild shields, very small, very shuttlecraft size almost there too. Or maybe runabout size, I would kind of say. You register that there is 1 life sign on board. Can't detect what kind of creature it is, but you will detect that there is 1 life sign on board. Do you want to bank the momentum or use your extra 1 though? As I do have to ask the question on.
Oh, yeah.
So we can get extra information.
Yeah, well,
Basically, you recognize. I'll say that you do recognize like the ship style.
yeah, I think we got what the ship is, which is, I think, all we need right now. I think it'd be better to bank the momentum.
Okay.
So, because I assume we'll be seeing them again. We just want to make sure when we see him, we know it's him.
Okay.
Also, what hit us?
So it appears to be some kind of device that's disrupting your systems. From what you can tell, the vessel the vessel itself also seems to have, like, I'm going to say, it has very low signature. It seems as though it doesn't necessarily have like a cloaking field, but perhaps something kind of very stealthy. So it probably moved very close and just kind of like hit it into you, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
But once it
Got it.
did what it did, you could kind of detect it at that point in time.
Yep.
So
And it was a hard check, so.
also the
So-
entire thing of like, your ship's a little messed up right now. It's.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, the main thing it seems to be disrupting is, of course, your warp drive. So it's not something that will be difficult to remove, but will be time consuming. And whoever this person is has a leg up on you in the race to capture the man.
Hishkanas, get on it.
Mhm.
We need results yesterday.
Do we have any shuttlecraft aboard the ship?
Already a pretty small ship.
Traditionally, a vessel of your size usually has at least one shuttlecraft, but it would not be warp capable. Or it might be, but like low warp. I'm thinking like the Enterprise shuttlecraft can go at warp, but they're usually pretty slow, I think, like that.
Yeah, I think it like caps. If I recall, it caps out at warp 3.
Yeah.
It's from memory. I'm not certain though.
Yeah. Let's check to make sure. Nobody says exactly how much. Yay!
They normally have a Type 6 shuttle.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to. Federation shuttlecraft. Hi, Federation shuttlecraft.
Okay, the Danube class has a max warp of 5 without modifications. Which is 24. Hubble, it doesn't say. Oh no, Hubble it does say. It says warp 2.
Yeah, normal cruise is normal cruise for a Type 6 is 1. Maximum cruise is 1.1. And maximum rated is 1.2.
Oh, you're probably looking at the actual in-game stuff. I'm looking at memory
I'm looking
data.
at a
We can say your shuttlecraft might be
Nation
like
Institute.
a little bit above
Yeah,
Type
the
6, but it's probably not like much better than that. It's
Yeah, there's one that's capable of warp 2 only. There's another one that's capable of warp 4. So they have the array, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, bigger ships are going to have bigger shuttles
yes,
and faster shuttles, and we're in a slightly older ship, so.
yes. And traditionally, most Federation shuttlecraft aren't necessarily needing to have a huge amount of warp drives anyway. Like, there are certain ones that have bitter and not too. Like, a runabout tends to have a pretty good thing there too, because I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why can't we have the Delta Flyer?
Yeah, I mean, the main reason you'd get one like that is because you'd get one is because like if you have a bigger crew, you need to be able to sometimes send someone out, to do something else. So, but if you have a smaller crew, so.
No, I was just thinking about possibly taking a shuttle to continue while the ship's getting fixed. But if we're only doing 1.2 or even 2,
Yeah.
it's not probably going to be worth it.
If you had like something like an actual runabout, it would be worth it because that goes warp 5.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, your ship isn't again as nice as your ship is. as much as it's been retrofitted, it's still a probably old class of ship. You know, you are a Miranda class.
Yeah.
It's been in this type of class of ship has been in service for a while. Probably the Fafnir here has been like, you know, had like a good like, you know, we'll say like 60 years of service at this point in time. So like, yeah, it's had some retrofits, especially during like the Dominion War and the post Dominion War had a few retrofits that have like fixed it up a little bit. So it got a second life by everything that happened in a lot of ways, you know. But still, your ship it's got a little bit of charm to it at this point in time.
And
you know?
and that's not going to make you be able to carry bigger or better shuttlecraft.
No, unfortunately. Like you probably have enough of a shuttle bay that if you really needed to, you could probably get a second one in there. But traditionally, you have not one there.
Yeah. Okay, well then we just have to knuckle through this and
Yeah. All right.
get this thing removed.
Okay. How do you want to go about that? You have some choices. That'll determine the checks you make.
I mean, I'd probably take a little bit more of a leadership role in it, because
No.
I'm not super engineeringly
Well, what I mean is,
sound.
the different kinds of things you could do. Like, I'll give some examples. You could try to teleport it off. You could try to remove it manually, either by using the shuttlecraft you have, or perhaps sending some people out in suits. There are different ways you can kind of go about removing it there too.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean. What kind of directions? What do you want to try to have your ship do?
I mean, my first thought would probably be going out and ripping the damn thing out of there.
Yeah, I mean, if we can teleport it away, that'd be probably fastest, but probably harder to do.
I will say yes on that one.
Yeah. I think going out and just trying to cut it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could also try and disable it remotely. That might be a middle ground.
We could also try to bypass any systems that's right around it, so it's not actually affecting it.
Yeah, isolate the systems is probably a good idea too.
I mean, we could have engineering focus on trying to isolate, and we could go out and try to actually.
Yeah, we can have some people. Yeah, we can have the engineering isolate, and then we can send out kind of more of a security crew to dislodge it.
I'll tell you, if you want to see about dislodging it / disabling it, you would have to certainly disable it first, other than just isolating it to the area if you want to get it off there very easily. As you said, I would say if you want to basically do that, it would probably be a security insight check.
That is up my alley. That's a 14 for me.
Okay, I'll let you do that. It's 15, but I think it's fine. My character will be getting the engineer, being on top of the engineers. You can lead the outside team.
So you're gonna go assist with the engineers. Why don't you give me a let's say a command reason. We'll see how well you get the engineering team to do their job.
Okay.
I'll put you for a difficulty 1, Wyrm, and Joe, you'll have a difficulty 2.
Okay.
Joe, yours won't have complication with what you're doing. Well, we'll see what. Okay, depending on how Wyrm does, depends on if there's a complication. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Nice.
Do you want any kind of extra information, or do you want to bank that one, which would put you, I believe, to 3, because you didn't ask for any extra information on your sensors, as I'm recalling.
Yeah, I say we bank it.
Okay.
I say we bank it.
Okay, we'll put you at 3. Okay. So, Joe, congratulations. There will be no extra complications because, the engineering team has done its job and properly isolated this area and the systems at very least.
Okay. And what's my
There's difficulty 2.
It's no longer disrupting our communications. We can work properly now.
Yeah. The question is, should I spend momentum just to have a buffer die?
I'll let that be up to you. We've got 3 now, so I'm fair. I'm okay
Yeah, I
spending
think
one.
I think it's a good idea just to have.
Because I'll tell you right now,
Case-
with what you've done, ship systems are working well, but you still can't make a warp bubble as long as this thing's on here.
Yeah.
It's still at least disrupting that.
Yeah, so
Got it.
I'm gonna spend the extra one just to make sure.
Whatever this is, this
Yeah.
device, it seems its main job is to disrupt the warp bubble of whatever it hits. It just so happens to also like mess around with like the electronic systems of your ship also, if it's attached to there.
Mm-hmm.
Would hand phasers help as a focus?
Probably not, we'll say.
Okay. I'm just looking at my focus and seeing if there was anything else.
Yeah.
I'll intimidate it. No.
You might have a chance
The only
to
other
do
thing
things.
I have is like ship engagement tactics, and that definitely.
That might come up with another ship around, you know?
Oh, 2.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So I got it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I took the extra momentum to do that.
Yeah. So you'll
Since my second die was a 0.
work together to manage to kind of do a combination of try to like get up the entire area that it's in while still attempting to basically disrupt some of its systems and kind of stuff like that and remove it very safely. It takes a little bit of time, so it's kind of like between this entire thing you've spent like at least an hour kind of working on this, getting this off here, but you've managed to do it very safely and getting it off of your ship. So now it can kind of float free, and you can do with it what you will. Either, tractor it into the shuttle bay to maybe study it another time, try to beam it on board, might be a little dangerous, or just leave it and or blow up. Those are your 4 options, I would say. I don't think anyone's a wrong answer, so just whichever you want to do.
I think tractor it in is fine.
Yeah. Just as
We
it's
might
like,
be able to learn something on the way there about our enemy.
it's an idea about what you are facing, certainly speaking.
In case they
Alright.
have more of those things.
Very true. If it's a tool that he has, or they have another one.
Study it.
Anyway, all right. So, you will be able to depart once more, and start your way to Satis. Now, I'm just gonna give us a timeout here and say to both of you, do you want to take a break or do you just want to run through? You are about at the halfway mark, so
We can take a break.
Yeah, I'll take a quick one just to let the dog out.
then we'll take a quick break here, so people can do what they need to do, and then we'll be turned after that. So I'll have us go on break here, and then we can heading to Satis. Possibly adventure. All right. So, your ship is now en route to the wonderful, wonderful planet of Satis. Is there anything you particularly want to do in the meantime? You have, of course, a strange device in there. Of course, you can find out stuff about Satis itself. The choices are yours. You have a bit of time traveling to Satis.
I would I would suggest Wyrm. Maybe you should, since you have science, maybe try to see if you can figure out some stuff with Satis.
Ooh, investigate the planet.
Yeah. Did we arrive?
I think it would be checking
We're
your
on
records and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
on our way to Satis.
Yes. Rather than scanning and probably
You know what?
checking records.
I'm gonna use my well-informed.
Hold on. What do that?
I add 1 threat, and get 2 questions,
Ooh,
as if I had spent momentum.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a threat. I see how it is.
Thanks for the threat. I'll totally have to use this now. Don't worry about it.
Stop threatening me with threat.
Don't worry about it. You're totally going to be threaded. I mean, not threaded. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what 2 questions do you have then about good old Satis?
I wanted to use this first and I'm thinking of questions now.
It's like, well, then I've done it. Now I have to actually figure out what I'm going to ask.
I want to use my ability because I picked it up. So
yeah. I get why you're using it. I understand. It's very understandable.
Are there any oh, you know what? Here's a good one. Who controls the area of Satis?
Ooh. Technically speaking, it's still within the purview of the Orion people, but it tends to be run by a group of various mining conglomerates from around the quadrant. Mostly from various Federation planets with some Orion stuff there too. So the miners tend to control the area, but they are stationed on the asteroid fields nearby. The system with Satis in actually has a fairly large asteroid field, about twice the size of the one in our solar system. So they have a large selection of asteroids there too. Just to give you a background on that one, because I'll give it to you as part of that one. It's assumed that, unlike ours, where it's assumed that like maybe 1 or 2 planets came together to crush, to break it apart to that maybe half the planets in the system kind of broke together, or maybe just never formed properly into planetoids in a large section of the system. So.
Okay. And I guess another good question would be, are there any? What are the outposts on Satis? Like, are there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there any actual living places there?
Previous records, which are from quite a while ago, this would have been approximately 80 years ago, where the last time there was an update on it. There was a science station in orbit above there studying the planet, but whether or not anybody had put a station either in high orbit or on planet surface is unknown to you at this point in time, because these records are quite outdated. The scientific study wasn't finding anything. It was finding interesting information, but nothing that was stand out enough that the records have been updated on the place since then. Or at very least, because communications with the Orions is not bad, but not necessarily great all the time, even now that things are a little bit better. Updates on its, any kind of scientific study or progress there is unknown. But it wasn't an Orion scientific team that was behind it, at very least. So.
Okay.
Right. Anything else? You could still make a check, or if you want to try to get more information, or we could leave it there for information on Satis. God, I was going to pour more tea while we were talking about this, and I'm going to do it. I didn't spill anything.
I mean, I feel like an abandoned science station is definitely a good place to check first, so...
Yeah.
It might not be abandoned. There's a good... It's 80 years ago, Like, the chances it's still being used...
Potentially abandoned.
Yeah.
Well, or he might have, taken it, basically is set it up as his little base.
There's possibilities of what's going
abandoned.
on. Yeah. It is certainly a good place to start. So, anything anybody else wants to do before you arrive in Satis' orbit?
I would like the chief engineer and I to look over the strange piece of equipment.
Okay. Oh, and because I don't think I conveyed it properly earlier. The ship design was one you were unfamiliar with, I will say. It could be some kind of custom craft. Yeah. I think I tried to say that, but I don't. I was thinking about it. I'm like, did I say that in
Yeah, you said it was.
words?
All you said was it was similar to a runabout in size.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it was a custom craft.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I said that because I was thinking about it for details and I forgot, if I said anything. Okay, cool. So, all right. What do you want to do with this? You want your engineer to make a check? I will do generic check for engineer.
I mean,
I just got a theory about what this Star Wars bit is.
Mm-hmm.
I
How
don't
much
know
talking
Star
about? Why
Wars
would there be
that
Star
well,
Wars?
so,
It's a Star Trek game. Don't worry about it.
But I can either assist her or take lead. I don't know what her abilities are.
I would say I would roll with for any of your NPCs. I'm just going to give them a standard 14 in their specialty. We'll basically say.
Okay.
So if you wanted to roll an engineering reason and lead it, she'll have a 14 in it.
Reason.
Yes.
No, I would let her lead, and I will assist.
Yeah.
I
assume she has a.
I might have a focus on this because I do have team dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Sure. If you were assisting, I'd say team dynamics could apply there. So she will not have a focus. Complication range 1. I will say for this item, to investigate it would be it's one of those things that, like, I'm going to say the base difficulty is 2, but in this case, rather than questions, there is a if you get 2 to 4, you'll get more information. We'll kind of say on this one. That's one of those things that's kind of hard for me to say. Like, there's tiers of information that you can find out for this one.
Got it.
I don't know if there's a normal check for that in Star Trek. The tiered kind of information checks.
No, normally it's the DM gives you a base of whatever, and then you can ask extra questions.
Why don't we go for the average of 3 then for basic information, and if you have some extra questions that you might be able to answer, at most I may be able to use your NPC to steer you in directions. We'll say it that way.
I don't think we should use any momentum on this, just because it's not critical.
Okay.
I've
I'll roll for
only
her.
got 2.
She went 2. She rolled well.
Yay! Well, let's see if I can hit at least 1.
You do.
I do.
All right. So you get a sense of this device and its abilities. It does seem to be some kind of electrical disruption field. The kind of device here probably could not be fired for any good range. So it's definitely a close range weapon, and something would have to kind of like get in between shields and stuff there too. So basically, flies in close to you. Hits you with a thing, calls it a day, probably again, all the traffic around that area, him being a little, like, having like a little bit of like a stealth signature, was able to slip in, hit you with it before you were able to realize, and your sensors were able to pick up anything. And also, your ship, again, not bad, but probably not the best sensors in the fleet, too.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
The dice is to make that you don't recognize from any of your records, though, too. There certainly are technologies similar to this, but this one itself seems to be of a make and form that is outside of your purview.
Interesting.
So it's like the technology itself isn't necessarily alien, but like this version of it does seem to be.
The design of it is something we haven't seen.
Yep.
Okay. I will advise yellow alert as we're going into the system.
Okay. Right. So it'll be a little longer, and you will manage to drop out of warp in the system. You will have to drop out of warp on the outer edge of the system, as Satis is on the inner section of the system, beyond the asteroid field. And moving in, you do tend to want to, not get in any trouble with the asteroid
Not
field.
warp through an asteroid field.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great idea. Don't worry about it. No, you don't want to warp through the asteroid field, particularly. Granted, you can definitely get a sign and sense of where the various mining station is. There seems to be maybe about a dozen of them spread throughout the system in the various places within the asteroid belt itself. As you approach Satis, because you know what you're looking for, what's your you're at what, 3 momentum?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Oh, 2, that's right.
Oh no, you used
Yeah.
one. Yeah, 2.
I guess
Yeah.
if someone wants to roll a, we'll say, science insight, assisted by the ship for its science sensors.
All right. That's really good for me. So.
Yeah.
15.
I was going to let you do it because I got a 10.
Go, ship, go. Ship doesn't help. Sorry, ship. So we get 2. It was difficulty 0, so you'll get to a momentum. Again, I should have said that earlier. This was just a momentum check. You will be able to
What's
detect.
implied?
Yeah, you will be able to detect the station that you were looking for. If you hadn't found out about it, it would have been more than difficulty 0. But since you found about it, it was difficulty 0 to discover where it's at. The science station does indeed seem to be derelict at this point in time. You are detecting no energy system signatures from it. It seems offline, but still does seem to be in an orbit around the system, but around the planet. The planet itself has a fairly decent atmosphere. As I said, it is an M-class atmosphere on a planet that itself is not. But there are a pretty thick kind of mixed bag of cloud cover over a lot of regions of it, so you don't get a very good sign of it. The planet's surface is one that is hostile in very interesting ways, with basically a system that is more acid-based on the surface, with acid lakes of acid and kind of stuff like that there too, and particularly strange species of plants which seem to feed on those acid, which also tends to be a little bit of hostile. So they are carnivorous plants that feed on the acid, making the surface ever so wonderful. Because they also are a little acidy too, so if you even cut them or something, it's, acid plant that's carnivorous. There isn't necessarily like animal life there, except for like a number of like insects, the largest of which is about the size of a small dog. So the animal life is pretty low on a totem pole, but it seems to be things that are highly resistant to the acid there too. And we're able to process it out, because it is like it's not pure acid, it's acid solution. It's just very like horrifically acidic water that is kind of on the planet itself too. The entire supply of water there too is just acidy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like pH 9 or something.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's basic. pH
Like
probably like 5. Actually, what is? Hold on.
I have to look up things.
Oh no, you'd want pH like 2 or worse. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, probably we'll say pH 2, because pH 1 or below is like sulfuric acid, so we'll say pH 2. So fairly awful, but not the worst that it could be. But certainly, with massive lakes and rivers and rain that is just acid, it's not a nice place to be. Otherwise the weather's nice.
Yep.
It's like you can enjoy the sun, you can breathe the air. Just the horrific acid that falls down on you and melts your flesh off of your bones, don't worry about it. Or spiky plant over there that wants to eat you. Anyway,
Let's go to the acid beach.
Go to the acid beach. Our wonderful, wonderful class N planet. There's a reason no one lives here, except for the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently one stupid guy.
Anyway, you are currently not detecting any power from the station, though you have noticed where it is and detected it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
There's no power in the
is-
station. Unless he's in an EV suit, he's not there.
I think it's worth getting closer and doing a scan at least.
Oh, I did
Yes.
forget to ask the question if you wanted to spend any of the 2 momentum you had done to get any extra questions or something like that, or just want to bag them.
I mean, I think spending one of those 2 just to get a deeper scan would be a good idea.
Sure. What information do you want to ask then with that?
Are there any life forms on this station, or any kind of indications of like residual power?
From what you can tell, the station was powered down. So most likely abandoned. Whether it does seem to be relatively attacked, as if someone was planning on maybe perhaps returning someday or never had a chance to, or something like that. Hard to say for sure. But it does seem as though the station is in good shape. Seems secure. There currently is no atmosphere, but you can tell that, like, if you were able to get a team on board, you could probably repower it and start it back up. You know, the station is reactivatable.
All right.
It might have a stronger sensor array than ours, though.
It might. It is a science vessel. That's actually a good idea.
And stations are normally powerful in general. They can fit a lot more. Even if it's not as advanced of a scanner, it still might have more power.
Because
I
we might
think
be able
also,
to use it.
Oh, right.
Well, yeah, we might be able to use it to scan the asteroid belt to see if there's a base that maybe someone's hidden away, or the planet itself, just in case there's some.
You could have went underground.
Yes, some location there.
I think before we transport over to the station, though, we should do a scan for that vessel.
Okay.
Make sure it's not hiding somewhere around here.
Oh, it's somewhere around here for certain.
Well, it would be we'll call it. I'm gonna call this one to determine a stealth ship, a security insight, and your ship can use security sensors.
That'd be a 13 for me.
15 for me.
I think I'd be better than the ship, though, so I could assist you.
True, you would be better than the ship. The ship has 11.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have team dynamics.
Just working together on this. Come on, bud. We can do it. Let's figure out where this guy is. It'd be difficulty 3, detect his ship.
Okay.
Complication rate 1, so no complications at this point in time.
So we could just make it, unless we, critical.
I don't think it's
But if
worth.
we-
Yeah, I don't think it's worth spending momentum. I think
Mhm.
if we fail, we fail.
Okay.
Ouch.
Well, unless I critical. Nope.
No, okay. You do a scan of the area, and you don't seem to
Oh,
detect
and that
the
was a
ship.
2, but I rolled a 2.
Unfortunately, it does seem as though the ship itself, either it is currently outside of your purview, where it would be,
wait.
or its stealth has
Oh,
basically
shit.
eliminated
Actually,
your ability to.
I need to re-roll that. I messed up. I never switched my.
Oh, you did reason.
Reason.
I did reason
mean,
engineering.
Well, you still got a success though.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
still got a success, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
I mean,
at most, because
At
you rolled a
most,
7.
I might,
Yeah.
and I was using focus, which I picked.
So that would have been your engineering would not have been a 7. It's up to a 6, so you wouldn't have gotten a critical anyway.
Yeah.
So though it fortunately it didn't make a lot of difference on this roll, but it was
Yeah.
good to notice it there too.
Yeah.
So. All right. So yeah, no detection of the ship doesn't mean it's not in the area, but it does seem to be eluding your scanners at this point in time. Though you do notice that, like, certainly speaking, there's not a lot of traffic in this area. Currently, you detect none of the you can detect that there are ships with the mining operations, but none of them seem to be most of them seem to be landed on planets or on asteroids, I should say, or something like that, or areas that they're working on, mining. But there aren't a lot of them either. So, those aren't trying to hide, though. And this one, it doesn't have the cover. So most likely, if it, does something suddenly, you might detect it. But currently, it's on, like, a
I
low
would
power.
still suggest that when we beam over, they keep their shields up until we need to beam back.
Okay.
Just as a precaution, stay in yellow alert.
Yeah. They'll stick it in yellow alert. The captain agrees. Good call. All right.
Who do we want to bring with us to the station? I would think the engineer.
No, she
Yeah,
definitely can come along.
I think that's all we need this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep the same rules for extra characters, but I will say, because you are automatically going into a no oxygen area, I will not have you spend momentum for EV suits. You can just use them here. I'm not going to be a jerk about that,
Thank you.
Look, if I was going to have you spend something, I could have done like...
breath.
Hold your breath. Don't worry about it.
And freeze your butt off.
You can beam aboard the vessel itself. As I said before, the vessel itself is a Orion science station. It's from a good number of years ago. It's hard to tell exactly when it was last used, but everything has been powered down. So I guess, do you want your engineer to roll an engineering check to reactivate everything here?
Yeah. I mean, I can assist her if she wants.
Sure. So
I have some engineering.
it will be engineering reason. So I don't know if you have... She's a 14, because that's our standard.
I have a
for
10.
So yeah, so I will roll some dice for you, and we'll see if you want to spend momentum. I'm going to say to reactivate this, just difficulty 1. She'll get 1. Would assist there? Yeah. Okay. No assistance. Sure. Remain the same momentum, but you'll be able to reactivate the star base, or the science base, science vessel.
Yeah. Also, since we're on the base, can I detect anyone telepathically on this base?
Ooh, give me a command insight check. See if you detect anything.
Okay.
We'll give you difficulty 1 because there isn't really a lot of other beings here, and you're just trying to do a general feel if there's anybody nearby.
Okay. Yeah. And I'll... Well, we got some stuff to bank.
Okay. So you kind of feel out in the area, and you don't feel anything. So if you just want to bank that, you can, or if there's any questions you want to ask related to that, you can.
No. I mean, just banking it is fine.
If we don't sense anything, there's no real questions to ask.
Yep.
Do I feel alone?
you detect the people that are with you, but nothing else seems to be making a mental signature in the area, at the very least.
Yep. Okay.
So the entire place will scream back to life. It will take a little while for power to come back on, for the generators to kind of come back into power. It does seem as though everything was left behind here, and certainly speaking, it does seem as though the miners didn't touch this at all. Whether they knew about it or not, hard to say. But you don't see any signs of any kind of looting or anything in the entire area. At least nothing obvious. As your engineer is kind of as she's kind of activating anything, Skanas will basically be like, everything seems to be functioning perfectly. Atmosphere should be back to breathable. You can take the suits off. Life support's on.
I will take my helmet off. I'm just going to do a perimeter check with my tricorder, make sure, since no one has bothered it, make sure it wasn't any booby traps or something wasn't left behind.
Okay, so you're going to detect for anything that seems dangerous in the entire area. Give me a security insight check then. Going to check the area. We'll say just for a good scan, difficulty 1. Difficulty 1. You're just using a normal tricorder. So it's going to be, you'll have to notice things. Right. So, bit of complication there. Which is, I believe if you get the 1, it is. Thank you.
I get something, but then there's...
Yeah, I'm trying to go into...
Yeah.
Trying to go to the PDF rather than my physical book, which I grabbed behind me because I was hoping that better, but the PDF reader is being difficult. And being like, I really have to get a new PDF reader. I talk about this all the time, and I have to get a new one. One I have is like just a default. That Starbase information. I need gameplay essentials, which is where the hell in this book.
Yeah, I've been actually trying to find that.
It's under reporting for duty. That's character stuff. Is it called complication? Complications. I need to know about you. I need to find it in here, or I'll just honestly pick up this book that's behind me and look up in the index complications, because you know what? That's probably a smarter idea, because I have a physical book here. This might take longer than it's searching the entire things. Oh, hi, complications. Complications,
yeah, I'm doing a
285.
search too.
258, I'm sorry.
It's
Complications.
Like, there's a lot of things
So. When doing a task, each d20 roll that creates a 20 creates a complication which comes into play once the task has been resolved. Okay, so yeah, that's a complication. It was a 20. So a complication is occurring. You could spend.
We can spend momentum to negate it, I think.
Yes. You can give me a threat to do it. Definitely, it says here too.
Well, we have plenty of momentum at the moment.
I'm just checking here.
We got 5 momentum.
Yeah. 265. So I can give a threat, a complication by spending 2. What's the removal of it?
If you roll a 20, you don't want to suffer the complication. The game master doesn't want to impose a complication. At this point, the scene of the complication can instead be bought off by adding 2 threat.
They might have gotten rid of the use momentum to get rid of the complication.
Yeah,
in second mission. Because you still have create opportunity, create a trait, keep the initiative, obtain information, reduce time, swift action, minor action.
Yeah,
you
so
can probably create like a negative trait.
we could give him 2 threat to buy off the complication, or just take the complication.
I think it also said he can give us like a negative trait, such as like the air isn't quite breathable yet.
So yeah, I could give like a negative trait to the scene
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's part of the complication. So. I will say, up to you. What do you want to do?
I think you probably are close to maxed out on threat, if not maxed out.
I don't think I have a max. Do you have a max momentum of 6? I don't know if I've got a max technically. I just have to spend it, which I do tend to.
I don't want to
sometimes
give you
remember.
more.
I know what you're talking about. I could always use more. I could start throwing things at you in this like sprint of wonderfulness.
I think I'd rather have a minor complication than you getting more threat, I think, at this point.
Okay, let us see here. You were scanning for dangers inside of stuff there too. All right. So, while there, as you kind of scan the area, you don't necessarily detect any exact threats or like things left over or booby traps or anything like that. But you will detect something that seems like it might be a power. As you power on things here, it seems as though the entire systems are a little bit. There seems to be a lot of power going throughout the entire area. Surging, in fact.
Overpowering.
Yes. While this does not seem to necessarily cause any massive damage overall, the systems itself seem to be a little aged. So this overpowering means that anything you will do with the systems here will have a basically increased complication range. I'll translate it too. So yes, you can still use the systems here. Everything is functioning, but there's basically like, it's kind of like the system's a little juiced up. So like if you use the sensor, there's like a chance that things could mess up a little bit more or something like that, you know. So increased complication range for anything you would use this station for right now. Yep.
Well, whatever we do here, we should keep it to a minimum of using the systems.
They're only a little messed up. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. Keep using it.
I mean, well, we came here to use the scanners, so let's use the scanners.
Yeah, but I'm saying we probably shouldn't like try to scan this and that and the other. It's like probably should focus on one thing.
Well, I think scanning the planet is a better idea than scanning the asteroid belt, because I feel like so.
Systems
to
do
find
seem
something.
designed to scan the planet.
Yeah, I know.
I think scanning the planet, because there could be some kind of base down there that's either acid resistant.
If we don't find anything, then we can scan the asteroid. Okay, yeah. So we'll scan the planet.
All right. I will need then someone to do a. I assume you're just doing a general. Are you doing a specific type of scan or just a general scan of the entire planet? The sensors here are probably better for focused more scientifically, but it does not mean that they could not. Try something
I mean,
else.
finding humanoid life might be a good idea, or just technology. But I think finding humanoid life would fit a little bit more into the right range.
Okay.
While also giving us an idea.
Then I'd probably say that I was a science sensors check to assist you. The sensors here are pretty good, it seems as though. So better than your ship's sensors, just by a little bit.
And would this be insight or reason
more
science?
scientific. So this would be
something
for you. Science, probably insight to read the entire thing.
Okay.
I can see an argument for reason probably too, but we'll say science insight. And you'll be assisted by the sensors of the system. Okay. I'll check for that. Let me see there. It will not assist you, and they have a pretty good check for these sensors here, but I will apparently roll
An 18.
an 18.
At least it wasn't a complication.
No.
Wow, you rolled an 18 too on your failure.
Oh gosh.
I did forget to put the complication range at 2. But that's fine.
It wouldn't have mattered either way, but it was close.
It was close for both of those. I was actually considered putting it at a 2 higher, but I was only going to do the 1 higher then because I wasn't going to be that mean. Oh well. So you'll get a kind of basic scan of the planet itself. You will not be able to detect anything that seems to be of humanoid life forms. Certainly speaking, the entire sensor array is made to detect the various life forms on the planet itself, but it does seem as though, currently speaking, as there is a major storm front going through one of the areas, it is creating a little bit of interference as the station is currently orbiting above the storm area. That might not be helping too. But you managed to detect some like plant life, an insect life, but no humanoid life. But again, you're not getting the best scan of the planet either, you feel like. So it wouldn't take a lot to hide something. I'll kind of say it this way, unfortunately.
Okay.
You
Well,
could wait
then
for the storm to pass, or do something else.
I mean, we can wait. I'm thinking while we're waiting. I know it might be worth scanning the asteroid belt to see if we find some kind of hidden base, maybe.
Okay.
This will be harder though because there are mining stuff as well. But
so it will require a engineering reason check, I will say, on this one. And this one has a higher difficulty and higher complication for this one, because it seems as though these sensors weren't necessarily made to detect outside of the planet. So you're kind of trying to do something else with them that they're not necessarily made to. So complication range of 3 for this one, and I will need 3 successes to scan the area.
Unfortunately, my reason's only a 7, so that gives me a 10. So that
Go,
I'm not going to be able to
Starbase,
do.
go.
Puts me at 11.
Starbase will help, and not help.
Well, that
harm.
puts me at 11.
The only other thing would, and I think
We did bring the
11
engineer.
too.
If you want her to roll it, she could roll it too.
She's
She
one
can't
at
spend
11 as
momentum
well.
though because she's an NPC.
Oh, so that means she'd
Yeah.
have to get. She could get 2 successes though. She's more likely to than not.
Yes.
Oh no, she's at a 14.
She's at a 14.
Yeah, and I'm at 11. You're at a 10.
Yeah. I think we
So-
should let her try.
What's better, 3 50% chances if I spend momentum, or 2 14, or 2 14,
Mm-hmm.
14%, but like 2 75%.
You
I think
technically
the
have enough
275%
momentum. You
is
could
better.
buy more than 1 die though too. You have to remember. You could spend 3 to
Yeah.
buy 2 dice.
True.
You have 5 right now.
I still think that would be. I still think it'd be better to just do her with.
Yeah, I think there's still a better chance.
Because I'd have to spend. Because I think it becomes about the same if I get 2 dice, but that's 3 momentum to basically be equal to like another person who's
Okay,
here.
I will roll for her then. Boop, boop. Unfortunately, she will not get it. She'll get 1 success.
But no complication.
No complication. She'll try to make a scan of the asteroid belt. She'll be like, I can tell where all the mining stuff is, but I'm not detecting anything else. It's hard to get a good scan of here. The scanners here weren't necessarily made for this kind of thing. They're a little bit better, more tuned towards biological and meteorological studies and planetary studies. I'm getting a
We'll
little
just
bit
have
of a
to
read
wait
of
for
them.
the storm to pass and try again then.
Hmm.
And if that fails, then we can get back on our ship and scan the
Mhm.
asteroids a bit more closely.
You will
that-
receive a comm call from Captain Suave. Anything interesting so far?
Hmm.
Unfortunately, there is a storm front on the planet that we cannot get the sensors through.
What's the plan then? Should we just start checking things out on our own? Our own sensors don't seem to be piercing anything better.
Hmm.
Well, it comes down to we could either wait or, as dangerous as it could be, we could try to take a shuttlecraft down.
The other thing I
Maybe.
I was thinking about is while we were looking here, we could see that the storm was in the system. It seems if it's blocking your sensors, more than likely if anybody is on the planet, it's blocking their sensors. This might be an opportunity to disguise.
Exactly. Sensors can't tell you everything either.
True. But
It's one of my values.
the station itself seems to have a shuttle bay. I was thinking what we'll do here is we're going to back off towards the asteroid field and get a little bit of a ways away from the planet. So when the storm clears up, the sensors won't be detecting us. It'll be a little risky, but we know what we're looking for our friend if he's in the area. And as long as we keep it out of the ways of the miners, we should not get in any problems with them.
Understood.
So basically,
Hmm.
what I'm doing
Well-
is I'm spending 2 of my threat to set up the fact that your ship will not be within easy range.
Okay. Well,
You
I'm
guys have a
gonna
shuttlecraft
recommend.
and you.
Well,
You want?
we'll keep his Canas here to
Mhm.
keep things to check if the storm passes.
Mhm.
But if you could send over Tug. It'd be nice to have, with such a dangerous location, it might be nice to have some medical support.
Sure, spend a
When we
momentum.
go down.
You
Okay.
get an extra NPC. So now you have access to the 2 of those NPCs. Any other NPCs you want to grab right now, or you just want to call it there?
I think that's
'cause-
fine because we get.
Well,
Because the complication
thing I
ship
can
will be
say
out of
is-
easy range, will be in effect after that.
the only thing I can say is we might want Scylla, since we're flying down to the planet and there is a storm.
That's a good point.
Because you and I both don't have anything in common.
I don't know what you're talking about. You'd totally be fine.
Yeah. So good idea.
yeah.
I'll. Okay. So down to 3
Taking that-
momentum.
Down
yeah.
to 3 momentum, and you will have access to Lieutenant
Doctor-
Thompson and Tugbin, the doc.
Yep.
Lieutenant Thompson will then pilot shuttlecraft over into the shuttle bay of the space science station. And are you going to plan to go down right away, or are you going to wait a little while and see if the storm passes?
Well, we got our pilot. We could go
Yeah, I
down
mean,
in the storm.
I think it's better to go down because at the very least, yes, our sensors aren't going to be good, but that means they won't see us approaching either if someone is down there.
Sure. Okay. All right. You'll kind of try to judge an area of the planet that probably is the least inhospitable. Whether it's the right area or not, or you have to shuttle around, you don't know. But at least you'll get within the atmosphere and probably be checking things out. And you might be able to find a generalized place where you could land for a bit, just to probably don't get out because the plants will try to eat you. Or the acid rain, which is probably going to be falling while you're out there. Shuttle's built to withstand that, at least.
Yeah.
Only pH2. Only hostile to biological life, mostly. Only a little biological. Anyway, I will need
an android.
I will need a check then. I will have her roll a daring plus con check. I'm going to put the difficulty to have a safe landing at 2.
I'm gonna try and help. Yeah. Well, can I assist? I'm gonna direct her through it.
You will probably be better than shuttlecraft stats. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because I'm trying to use the my advisor ability, which which.
Oh, you have that
whenever
too.
Whenever you assist a character using your command discipline, the character being assisted may re-roll a die.
Okay. If you are doing that, I'll say you could assist with command reason. That makes sense for giving her orders and data as you're trying to go down there, kind of watching what's going on with the storm rather than assisting with the actual controls. All right.
Okay.
Difficulty 2, no complication range, because you're no longer on the ship that has a complication range, and it's complicated enough with the storm. I'm going to roll for her. She will roll very well.
I'll assist, but I'm gonna just for the potential momentum. I'm gonna let her re-roll that 16.
You'll roll another 2. All right. So yeah,
Nice.
I mean, so you got 3 floating momentum. You can max out at 6, or you could do some other spendings and stuff like that.
I'm thinking we should spend 1 to see
We
if
maxed out at 7 actually.
Oh, max at 7 momentum. I keep
Yeah,
it-
but I'm thinking we should use 1 for a good landing spot.
Yeah, that's fine. Should
Uh,
take us up to 5.
yeah.
Like a safer landing spot rather than,
Yeah, I'm just sitting
Just
here.
a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Spreading momentum. It'd be 2 for a new trait. I would say that would be.
Oh, okay. I think that's
Okay.
fair though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be down to 4.
So you'll spend a safe landing spot and find an area that seems to be away from a lot of the running water and running acid water, and tends to be a little area that's a little more sparse on the plant life. So a little bit safer. Possibly could exit out of the ship if you needed to, while it wouldn't be raining.
I think the trait should definitely be hidden landing spot.
Ooh, hidden landing spot. Okay.
Yeah.
So rather than it being not dangerous, it's an area that's a little a ways away and basically a little more hidden. So your ship would probably be more difficult to detect. Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like some natural mineral deposits or something that'll...
Yeah, you can find a spot that seems appropriate to that in amongst the storm and take yourself down. While it probably not be the easiest to leave the shuttle itself, with all the dangers that are outside and the hostilities of this planet, certainly speaking, at very least, you are safe on the ground. All right. Eventually the storm will pass, though. And I assume you want your engineer to give another scan, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I will just roll for her. No momentum, no benefits, but she has the increased complication range, and there's the sensors for the vessel itself. We'll put it back to science. Sensors. Okay. All right. A little better. So once the storm's passed, they will get a kind of sensor rating. She'll use the sensors and basically contact you over the comms. I've run a scan of the entire area. While it does seem as though the entire system seems to have a kind of permanent storm moving about, what we encountered is seemingly moving around the planet, probably fueled by some of the weather around here too. It does seem to pass in the various regions, and it does seem to wane in its abilities to be more dangerous or less dangerous. But the storm itself doesn't seem to peter out from what I can tell. It's an ongoing kind of thing, at least currently. But I did detect something very interesting in it as it was waning down. As it hasn't gone away, but has kind of waned back to slightly less disruptive. There seems to be some kind of something in there. A ship or a floating thing that seems to be connected with the storm or traveling with the storm. Other than that, I haven't been able to detect anything of certain. But if something would be underground or in a hidden area, it'd be hard to detect. I can't get a good view of what that is in the storm itself, unfortunately, other than some kind of ship in there. So.
Might have to fly into the storm.
Do you think it's our saboteur friend?
Can't tell for sure. Can't tell the size of it. I'm just detecting something that seems to be artificial and moving with the storm.
It's a possibility, but that would also be a typical Maquis tactic. They do like to hide out in the Badlands, which is raging ionic storms.
Well, I guess we only have this is the only we can. I guess it's our only option. It's the only thing we found, so we have to check it out.
All right. So the four of you that are on board this ship will once again take off and head for the storm, back into it. As you are not trying to selfish land, this will be a little bit more difficult this time. It'll be a difficulty 3 check, I'm going to say.
I still feel like it should keep the hidden trait because we're now coming from below, which is weird. Probably not expected.
I will say, definitely speaking, you will be undetected because you're going to be basically leaving an area and entering into the storm from an area that probably someone wouldn't be necessarily looking for it. So, yes, I'll agree to that. So, if you want to do your same thing again, you can roll that. This time, no complications range, but daring for the pilot and command reason if you're assisting there.
Do you wanna roll it?
Well, what I was going to say, would evasive action help at all?
Ooh.
It's going into the storm.
I could say yes, but more likely if you want to also roll a con daring check, that would apply in this case. Because that would be.
Yeah, cons. I meant to, with assisting her, would I get the.
What I mean is.
Focus.
It wouldn't apply if you're using the same thing as Wyrm, I'll say. You have to use a different check.
No, I'd be using the same thing as Wyrm because...
Yes, because that would apply here, I would say, but that would also apply for, like, you know, security-based checks, too, in many ways.
What about team dynamics?
Sure? I mean, like, I've been allowing that a lot, but like I
mean, that
should...
is my thing because I'm a commander.
Yeah, but it is like one of those ones that like I guess I feel like what team dynamics is if you're assisting someone almost what it is like when it applies, you know. But it's like only like when you're the assistant kind of ways, and not using the computer and stuff like that. So. Yeah. It's got a kind of narrow thing. So, I mean, like sometimes these words are like. So I'll say team dynamic could apply if you want to roll.
Okay, so you said command.
Command reason you could roll. That's reason. What Wyrm is rolling.
Okay, I'll do that, and I have the same thing with advisor.
So you'll also be an advisor. Let me give her a roll there. As I said, there's a difficulty 3. You do have the option of spending momentum while she does not. So I'll roll her first. We can see where it's at. She went 2, so we only need to get 1 right now.
God dang it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The only thing I could do is have her try to re-roll one of them to try to see if she can get a critical.
You could have also spent a momentum, as I said.
Spend a momentum.
Yes, I was trying to say that, and then you rolled. Because you forget you could spend momentum. If you want to roll another dice, I could say you do, because again, it's something that you forget you could do. We can just see from there.
I'll just hit the roll again, and I'll pick down a momentum.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah. So be down to 3 momentum. My infinite kindness, and also I was trying to say to you when you rolled anyway.
Sorry, thank you.
No, it's okay.
I bow to your greatness.
Yes. Well, it's because she can't spend it as an NPC, so you guys have to spend it if you're going to do it. You know, and so yeah. All right. You will be able to navigate through the entire thing, and you will see what looks to be rather than a traditional ship. What is in here seems to be a ship converted into some kind of small platform that seems to be floating within there, suspended within there. Whether or not this can be converted back into it, it seems as though at very least it's in a configuration that is meant to basically travel with the storm in the planetary system here. Perhaps it has, you know, as you have, there are ships that do change forms and stuff too. You can't tell. There's not really good sensors in the deep heart of the storm, you know, but you know that work very well, especially on your shuttlecraft. But it's there, and there does seem to be areas where you could probably dock with this thing.
Tantus.
Mm-hmm.
I need to take an emergency break real quick.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No. You need to do that. Go ahead and do that. Why don't we take a short break and just go on a pause? Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause the recording for YouTube, and we'll just sit here and chat on stream or something like that for a little while before he gets back. Mm-hmm. We'll just not talk about the game or something. I don't know. Just because, you know, we're at that point in time, climaxy kind of area. So I'll pause the recording. Mm-hmm. All right, emergency over. We return. Cool. We were looking at mechanics briefly, just to figure stuff out. We have to remember you have determination, which may or may not come up now because it's like right there at the end. Anyway, all right.
Well, I have something for determination.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you can certainly dock with this vessel pretty well and figure out a way to get on board, or maybe perhaps beam on board. Docking with it.
The recording back up?
I did. I started recording back up, so we're good to go. Docking might be a little bit more noticeable because someone would have to, like, you know, you'd have to like open up whatever's on there, or you could try to beam on board. You do have pattern enhancers.
Yes, we do. I still have those.
Mm-hmm. You did spend
Well,
momentum for those.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to let, it'd probably just be us two, or us. I think we should leave, it should just be us two, and we should leave the doc at, with,
Yeah. Doc can come in case of emergencies or help out if you get anybody out. So yeah, Doc will stay here with your pilot.
Mhm.
So
it'll just be us two going in.
mhm. So
I'm fine with that.
Tugbim and Scylla will remain behind. Lieutenant Thompson and Tug. Tug. I already feel like I've developed these characters more as we've been doing them, as you know, like I just came up with a couple NPCs, and sort of like when I'm developing their personalities slowly. Will I ever use them again? Probably not, but they're here now.
You could just rename them and then reuse them.
Just remembering the personalities I created
I
after
think
a
we'll
year.
remember next time this game comes up.
No. I check my notes and I'm like, what the hell did I write behind last time?
Funny thing is, I have a way to get determination back.
Well, maybe you want to spend it when we're here. Anyway. You will arrive on the vessel. Teleporting.
Well, I was going to ask Doc for one thing.
Okay.
Could he provide a hypo spray with something that might be able to knock this guy out?
Yes, that is a thing.
That's true. It might be a little easier than a stun setting for a phaser. That's true. If you want to spend momentum, he can give it to you.
Yeah, I literally saw that in the equipment. There's actually one that does that.
Knockout hyper spray. For one momentum, you can get one.
That'll take us down to 2. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. You will teleport on board. It seems as though there is some interference, as I'm going to spend 2 threat, because I got it, here to make it that you definitely need to use those pattern enhancers and set them up if you're going to get off. Congratulations. So that means you will need time to set up your teleportation to escape. You have the pattern enhancers, you just have to set them up, make sure to, properly calibrate them and stuff like that. So it's a little complication, but I'm spending that threat to do that. That way I'm down to 1 threat. For now.
Okay.
All right. I'm remembering to spend it this time. Yay! There are years I just have like 5 threat at the end of the session, and I'm like, I should have spent that on stuff. Anyway, you are aboard a ship of some kind. As I said, it does seem to be a ship that was converted over into some kind of more stationary station here. So it's got all the hallmarks of a ship. The ship itself is probably not large overall. I would say the size of it is a probably equivalent to a well, I got a good comparison. In next gen, the captain's yacht, the larger shuttlecraft.
Yeah.
That has like a number of rooms and conferences and like a main room or something like that. So it's like probably like 2-3 times the size of your shuttlecraft. There has a number of smaller rooms in there. Is a little bit more built out, but it isn't like so you do have an area to explore there too. But yeah. So, just because we're kind of at the end here, I will say it does not. Actually, roll me, if you wish. Let's say I will need both of you. We'll just say it's a difficulty 1. Each of you would have to roll this. A security. What? I'm having you roll a stealth check. Basically.
That'd either be fitness or daring, probably.
It's fitness, we'll say. Security, fitness.
Or control. Actually, it could also be control.
Ooh, control. You're right, control. Security, control. You are correct. I had to remember these things here. But difficulty 1 for like a stealth check, we'll say.
Mm-hmm. Would my focus of infiltration work?
Yes. Yes, it would.
Nice. I do not have a focus.
Oh my gosh!
All right. But you will both make it. You certainly could rebuild your momentum or spend that on some things, as you do have, Joe, you've got one floating. You could do something with that maybe, or bank it. And Wyrm, you got 3. You got 3.
Yeah. That was a really good roll.
Mhm.
I guess I could spend 2 to apply a trait.
I got a perfect trade if you want to spend 2.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
What trait are you
Okay.
thinking of?
My trait that I'm doing is your target's asleep.
Oh, nice.
There you go. So he theoretically would have been off guard, but now he's just asleep.
I guess I'll go up and.
This is easy. All right. So yeah, you now have knocked out Rava, Beaumont. Though there was plenty of chances for maybe communications or story-related things, perhaps with him, you just managed to find him and knock him out very quickly. And maybe that's something for like afterwards that we're probably not going to have in this one shot of catching up with him or something like that, because maybe there's a
I
connection.
might
there.
have known him.
Yeah. You did live in the same area that he was in as a Maquis, so
Yeah.
might have known him. But certainly speaking, now he is unconscious, and you can begin to set up the
Pattern enhancers.
pattern enhancers. As you are setting up the
How
pattern
many-
enhancers, you will hear a humming noise as someone be like, "Put the man down. He's my target."
Pull the phaser out.
Mhm.
Yeah, same here.
Keep them at your side.
Who are we looking at?
There is this kind of gaunt, blue-skinned alien, kind of dressed in kind of like leathers and stuff like that too. Looks very like bounty hunter, quintessential bounty hunter, with a disruptor of some kind in his hand. You don't probably recognize his species when you first see him, I will say.
I have an idea.
Okay.
If it's okay with Wyrm,
Mm-hmm.
because I also
Okay.
might be able to get it back
Mhm.
if necessary.
Mhm.
I could roll I'm thinking security fitness to try to quick draw and get him,
Mm-hmm.
and probably buy a dice or two.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
use,
definitely.
the determination to do the perfect opportunity.
Oh, okay. So you can use your thing of perfect opportunity, activate your determination to basically kind of chat with him for a minute and like look for an opportunity where he might be a little down to quick draw him and try to shoot him.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. We're spending everything you have, so I'm guessing you're going to buy 2
Well,
dice
I
and stuff like
also
that.
have.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
My veteran ability,
Ooh.
which when I spend a determination, I can roll a d20. If I roll equal or less than my control rating, I immediately regain that point of determination back.
Nice. We'll have to worry about that after we roll this entire thing there too.
Yeah.
I'd like to help
Ooh.
by kind of
Like
just
distracting.
honestly, can I just Okay, can you hold on? I need to look up how telepathy works.
Oh.
Okay, so it's an opposed check. Okay, that might not count as an assist then, because that'd be a completely separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you might buy me more of an opportunity.
Yeah, well, I was also trying to use. I have another ability called Student of War, and if I try and help with a combat task, you can reroll a die.
Oh. And I do have hand phasers.
So
I have a focus.
So I'm thinking something. I could just. I mean, I could be like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna talk them up. You know, it's you know, so just to basically be the distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So, where are you from?
None of your business, Fetty. I'm here. I'm collecting my bounty. Plenty of people want this squishy man.
How much?
Stop
How much are they paying?
More than you could offer.
So effectively, I'm just gonna keep trying to.
Why don't you do me a command control check, we'll say. We'll give you a difficulty 2 to keep him engaged in such a way that might distract him.
Okay.
Not that you won't
spend
engage
1.
with him, but you're trying to, like, you know, basically keep him engaged. So you spend 1, go down to 3 momentum.
Well, because I have to, because I'm doing this as an assist, basically.
Yes.
So,
yep.
To get 2 successes, I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, focus is still on, but
so
one of them
without
wasn't 1 anyway.
Yeah, so it would have been 3. So you would have gained 1 extra
3.
success. So we'll say you go back to 4. So you got your 1 back, but you will successfully basically give a distraction on him at this point in time, which will help create that opportunity for Joe. So Joe, please roll me a shoot button gun thing. I don't know how to do that.
Well, first it would be, I'm sure security fitness. And then it's
conflict.
The damage is.
Close combat is security fitness.
Yeah. So.
And I was
otherwise
going
it's
to
security control.
Buy 2 dice, which is what, 3 momentum.
Yes. So go down to 1 momentum. You'd have 4 dice.
It just makes sense to make sure this goes well.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you can re-roll a die if you need to.
Yes.
Because you're also spending your determination, which means.
Which also gives me a critical success.
Yes, gives you an extra critical success.
No, it's just a single success.
Okay, it's just an extra
automatic success.
Purchase any extra dice set so that it counts as having rolled a 1.
It is a critical.
That's scoring as critical success.
Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
Okay, so 2 extra successes on this.
Okay, so what's the complication and what's the?
I'll put a complication of 1, and I have no idea what the task would be to shoot him. Just roll some dice and we'll see how well you do, because I have to look up in combat.
So the way the combat works is if he can choose to basically you can if I'm not mistaken, you can basically use your action to defend, and then it's an opposed check.
Well, he's distracted and can't defend, we'll say. So what happens when you can't defend?
Then you have to beat, I want to say a 2?
Yeah, it's difficulty of 2. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I actually read through the rules, the combat rules, earlier today because I was kind of curious. So.
Okay. Well, there's a complication in there, but you are blasting him.
Yeah, because I also have 2 more successes on top of that.
Yes.
So then I'll hit this phaser button.
Cool.
And I'm going for stun. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I mean, like, you didn't use a chance to. Okay. That is a lot, and also, like, because I think these dice can have 0s, and you have no 0s, I believe, right?
Well, I think that's. Oh yeah, no. Well, he has 1.
Dice different.
Yeah, it's 1 because he has 1, 2, and then.
I think there
Okay,
are
I
nothings
think
on the challenge dice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think the starship symbols. What's funny is I actually don't think it
deltas.
works that way anymore. um Yeah, you just inflicted. So now you just inflict an injury. Blah blah blah. The attack was opposed. And the target one, they can do a counterattack. Yeah, so effectively, they changed how this works. You don't actually like attack any, like you don't roll damage dice anymore.
mhm.
Oh.
You just apply. All sorts of injury have a severity. Between 1 and 5, which indicates how severe the injury is. Severity injury. Yeah, so they simplified this in second edition.
That's probably good because the old way was very complex.
Yeah. So you can spend 2 momentum to increase the severity by 1.
Hey, you have that.
No, we
Well,
got
you-
1 left because I bought 2 dice.
No.
You bought 2 dice, but then you got some back
Oh,
because you only
yeah.
need to get 2.
You rolled
so.
4. It's difficulty 2. So you got
Mhm.
2, 6, 2 there.
Actually, I got 6 because remember. It
Oh yeah, you
I
have
also-
6.
So yeah, I guess I'll do it. Move it up twice.
So severity up at twice. Wonderful.
Yeah. So. Mhm.
He might be defeated.
Yeah.
But there is a complication, and I know what the complication is going to be.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Stun injury removed. Yeah. So basically, yeah. Basically, he's defeated.
yeah,
It's basically he's injured. He like, I think you can spend threat or like you can spend momentum to like negate it, but
mhm,
I think for you that'd be threat.
probably threat.
Oh, okay. So you know how the phaser have like, yeah. So it's like stun 2 is the phaser, so it's technically 2, and then you add 2 to that,
Mhm.
and it caps out at 5. So basically we're yeah. So it's 4.
So it's like really just dropped him down there.
Yeah.
I can see the personal conflict momentum spent. I can see what these here are.
Yeah.
Still obtain information, major extra action, major minor action, change the scene still, add severity to the attack, possibly disarm. Well, I mean, you were just trying to knock him out, so I mean, disarm we probably don't need to worry about, because you just knocked him out. Anyway, so cool. You will blast into the guy, and he will kind of topple backwards as his. The complication is his disruptor will go off and shoot somewhere into the ship as everything begins to shake. As the ship is now in trouble. He managed to get an unlucky shot into something important.
Okay. Well, let me roll my control die to see if I get that determination back.
Sure.
Because it might be come in useful.
Yes.
Yay!
Okay. Well, you currently are at.
Okay. Yeah. So
1 momentum.
you could spend. So
Okay.
yeah, the GM can spend threat equal to severity to avoid the injury.
I don't have that much threat right now.
Okay, then yeah, then he's down.
He is down. If I had enough, I would. But no. I spent on other stuff earlier. All right. So with the bounty hunter out, I'll just say I can have you roll again, but we'll say that you managed to, because we're at the back end of here, things. Basically set up the pattern enhancers, teleport back to the shuttlecraft, and get out of there as the vessel itself crashes down to the planet. The guy.
I guess we'll take the other guy with us too, because we're not gonna just leave him to crash.
Yeah, I mean, look at him as well. He attacked a Federation ship. He's going to jail too.
Mhm. All right. So yes, you will manage to capture a infamous bounty hunter who will now swear revenge against you at some point in time. When he
Yay.
escapes, yay! Bounty hunter named as Cade, who is a Durinian from the technically from the Delta Quadrant, but from the area of the Delta Quadrant near the Beta Quadrant. So it was kind of like on the edge of space outside of Romulan territory. So possibility of peddling in. So it's like that area, because that area there does technically have like, you know, some connections with it, as much as not really explored. It is on the outer reaches of where people from the he's within an area that would be, you know, like probably known more from like, you know, records from Klingons or Romulans, because they're up in that area. You know, their empire goes to the edge of the Beta Quadrant. They're various empires. Not much is known about them. Anyway, because they are basically not found in this area. Anyway, you've defeated him, and perhaps he has sworn revenge, and you've managed to capture the guy, and we'll just kind of summarize the end there, too. Congratulations. You've completed the mission. Yes.
And we actually did some combat for once.
You did briefly shoot a guy. Draw, Pilgrim.
Still required the combat rules.
It did require the combat rolls, and you rolled very well, which probably helped. Anyway, so I didn't have to worry
Yeah, it
about
did, because yeah, so...
So yes, and if you know the Star Wars reference, it was a mild one there, but it was one. But it existed in not in movies. I went for a TV series / video gamey reference.
I have no idea.
I mean, I assumed the ship was the slave one. I thought the ship was the slave one, but that was what I was thinking. But
I wasn't going for Boba Fett. I was going for a bounty hunter that has messed around with Boba Fett in multiple pieces of media, and his species has been found in other places too. But yes, but another one about who showed up in various places. Yes,
I only know the movies, and that's.
Yeah, I was thinking. My thought was that the ship was the Boba Fett ship. That's what I thought you were going for.
No, if anybody knows, they basically captured Cad Bane. So if you want to look that guy up, he shows up in. He does show up in live action though too, but in a couple of the animated series, though he shows up more.
How do you spell that?
Cadbane. I just named Cade was the guy I called him instead. You know, so.
I think I've seen his picture somewhere at least.
Yes. His species has showed up in a few places too.
Okay, I see.
I just again, I didn't use the same name for anything. I just made similar names and put it out there. But it was a ruthless bounty hunter.
Definitely one of the more subtle ones you did.
Yeah. I figured some people might know it, but like I had an idea for another bounty hunter kind of thing, and so I went for more subtle bounty hunter because I've already used Mandalorians more than once. It could just be general Star Wars bounty hunter kind of a shenanigans though. So.
Oh yeah, no. I thought you were just gonna have the bounty hunter ship, the Boba Fett ship.
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't describe the ship anyway, so it could have really been that anyway.
Well, you said it was. You said we didn't recognize it, and that and it had stealthing capabilities, which is why I was thinking the slave one. But...
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. But there you go. There's our Star Trek, Star Wars thing. So yes, if you're getting to the end of here and you don't realize I always add some kind of Star Trek reference or Star Wars reference to the Star Trek game. That's the joke, because I'm already doing the joke of Star Trek on a Star Wars day. So if you can pick up on it, congratulations, +1 to you. Picked up on it earlier. But yeah. So I hope everybody enjoyed. It was a fun little one. It definitely wasn't one of my more complex stories, but I definitely think we got some good rolls and checks in here too, and some interesting kind of dynamics. I feel like this adventure could have definitely been explored in more than a one shot, but I enjoyed it, as I do.
Yeah, I don't think it was too bad for a one shot. It was kind of fun. Yeah. It actually had a lot of points to it. I actually think you're definitely improving at your one shots.
Here's the thing, I generally speaking have gotten better at like thinking on the one shot, and also I'm not gonna lie, Star Trek makes it a lot easier because I can say what kind of episode would I have. I say that, and that helps so much.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not like your one shots were bad. You've just had such a hard time with timing in the past.
It's been tightening on both ends of trying to figuring out, like the general kind of a one episode Star Trek story and how to put that into the kind of things about it.
Because I know 2 out of the first 3 we didn't even finish.
some of the early ones were very much so rushed. Like
Yeah.
there's a little like here. I think it was like a little rushing at the end. I could have embellished a little bit more, but we were close enough. You know, we were at the end. We got through most of it, kind of.
Oh
thing,
yeah,
but-
no, like I mean, we literally started like 15 minutes late, and we're ending 15 minutes after. So
Anyway, so yeah. Why don't I give you some shout outs? I'll for Joe, do you have anything to shout out? Or we'll turn it over to Wyrm and people.
live long and prosper. Got it.
Live long and
Yeah.
prosper, and see everyone Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So shout
I'm
you,
Diamond
Wyrm.
Worm.
Give your shout out.
Twitch.tv/DiamondWorm at DiamondWorm on Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and next thing I'm doing will be here on Wednesday. So don't look for me anywhere else till then. Actually, look for me everywhere else. The places I just described.
Yeah. Just go check out Wyrm and see some nice Wyrm stuff. As for myself, I'll be back tomorrow. I should be aiming for around 2-ish. We're going to be doing some gaming stuff and hanging out and maybe working on some other stuff related to the channel. You know, having a little good time here. That should be all the plans. If there needs to be adaptations, I'll let people know to the schedule. I might have a complication tomorrow. I will find out and let people know when I can know too. But generally speaking, that will be the plan at this point in time. So make sure to check
Roll
out
the 20 on your scheduling.
Look, you know, whenever I know that there's something going on and I talk to my mother and it sounds like something that she might need some help with, I'm like, when it's not 100%, but there's a chance, I'm like, I really just
Yeah.
gonna pry that answer out of her and be like, are you sure? How are we doing it this way? Are we, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, just codifying everything a little bit too. So,
No.
but yeah. It'd probably just be, you know, check out the tabletop stuff from this week when I record it. And of course, tomorrow I think it's just probably going to be, as it hang out, maybe doing a couple small things for late channel and probably a little bit more of the God of War 2018. I've been enjoying a lot of that. So check that out for at least a couple hours tomorrow. Yeah, aiming for 2. I think that's it then. So everybody have a great rest of your day and see you all next time. And hopefully join us next year for more Star Trek. We're probably still going to do it. Bye.